All right, welcome back, cyber traders. Happy Monday, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? Hopefully, everyone's all excited. Last week of the month. Good to see you, Randy. Good to see you, Norman. Lita, good morning. All of you. Very good. Michael, good to see you. Everybody on YouTube and Facebook Live, welcome. Love signing in. So it's going to be a pretty busy week. Got a couple of things that are happening. I think they're going to do the infrastructure bill vote. We'll see how that works out and how the market likes it in Congress, but obviously you need the Senate also. So we'll see how that works out. You know, there was a couple of good stocks that were traded last week. We're going to talk a little bit about those. Last week was, there was a couple of good movers, but overall it wasn't as exciting as I thought that I probably would think of it. I think it was only maybe Tuesday was probably one of the best days out of all the weeks. But there was a couple of the stocks that did well on Friday. We'll check those out too. But before we get started, I know we have a lot of people that are going to be starting this week, and just remember, this is if you're in the trading room, and this doesn't apply for you guys in YouTube or Facebook Live, you could always join our trading room, just like us and friend us. You could always hang out there for a week. But remember, you're in a trading room, not a teaching room. Okay, so your goal is you're here to watch and see what other traders are doing, seeing that how we could teach everyone if they could become a successful trader, and you make a decision. So when you hear the bad, the ugly, the good, now you'll see the real truth. But it's not about me, it's not about my instructors. It's about us teaching you not how to make money, but how to stop losing it. So we got a couple of good stocks that are making some big moves. We have this stock right here, Seal, that's doing really well. That one did make the watch list. I got another 4 or 5. I'm not a big fan of trading on Mondays. Let's let you know. If you do your journals, just got to be very, very super conservative. Don't try to hit home runs. Don't think take a shot at it, but just be very, very careful when you trade on Friday, on Mondays and Fridays. So, but let's go see what we got going on, what happened last week. For some of you that missed out, or maybe it's the first time you're here, we had a couple of nice little movers here. We had the stock here, FLGC, that did really nice. It just came out with some news in the middle of the day, and you could see it ran from $5 all the way up to about $6.25, and then it did a nice little push going into the close around 2:30. Ran from like $6.40 all the way up to about $7.20. That one was not terrible. That one we did pretty well on that one. EAR also. EAR, you could see, got hammered. It was about a $75 stock. Stock just got crushed, and then you woke up one day. That's why we don't hold overnight positions. You think like, oh, it's $70, maybe it'll come back, and then you wake up one morning at 22, and the thing opens up at 7. So I made, I did. Actually, that was one of the only stocks I did really well on Friday, and I'm glad I got out of it because it had a really nice push. And it started coming down, but it built like this big support levels right around here, around 680, and it finally broke out, went to the 660, and that was done after that. I mean, I got this nice little pop right here, right around 740, and I says, you know what, I'm done, got out of it. I mean, it did go all the way to 760, but guess what? Dropped all the way down to 770. I don't like how it's trending right now. It looks like it's making a Fausto flag on the downside. So listen, stay away from it. Be careful of these bottom fishing. I mean, if you look at the news, obviously it's really not too good. They're being investigated. So EARS obviously was one to go in yesterday. On Friday. It was another one right here that also had a really nice push. This GOEV, nice little move here at 9:30. Ran from like 760 all the way up to about 816. You could see it started building a pretty nice Fausto flag, started consolidating, and then going into the close, 850 all the way up to about 930. Really, really nice move right there. And then last but not least, this stock right here was a good mover. You could see it's been a really nice mover for the past month or two. It was at $5. Things up over 300%. And you could see it just had a really nice move on Friday right here. And this is why we trade early in the morning. Stock literally went from like 1350 all the way up to about 1625. Had a really nice pop right here, right around, what time was this? This was around 1020. Things ran from like 1470 all the way up to here. And it was pretty much done. You could see it kind of flatline, it channeled here. It's not worth the deal with these channels, when it's trading within that range. So other than the long-term effect, I mean, you could see it's got a nice little push, trending, breaking 52-week highs. But you know what? You want to be a good day trader. Actually, you want to be a good swing trader, you got to know how to day trade first. I always tell you that all the time. Now, there were a couple of stocks this morning. Let's go through that watch list and see what we got going on. So we got this stock right here, Seal. She looks like she's making a little bit of a Fausto flag here. I'm going to pop over here level 4. You could see you got some big iceberg orders here for like 26,000, 13,000. So they're kind of holding this down right here. You got to get these orders, and you're starting to see a ladder effect with orders coming down. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere until we get past, about 10 cents away. What the hell is 10 cents? 10 cents is not a lot when you got to deal with close to about, I don't know, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, but close to about 50,000 shares on the offer. Let somebody else break it, not us. What'd you say? Okay. Another stock that also, it's up about $1.20 today. I don't know what happened with this stock. It really had a nice move around 7 o'clock this morning. And it was one of the stocks on a watch list, and it went up pretty decently. It stopped right. Look, at 7:30, and then there was, I don't know, there was an order. This is called a dark pool right here. Stock traded 2.4 million shares on that time. So there was was at the 8 o'clock? Yeah, that's program trading. What kicks in. That's why we start trading right here in the cyber group right around 8. Right before 8. We open up the room. 7:45 and so on. I mean, the room's open, so guys still chatting there. All you traders are chatting in there. But I think some news came out. They cut some deal with NASA or something, but it's not going anywhere. So this kind of throws me off, looking at it. And, there's a 43,000 share buyer, right here at 350. You can see it right here, but not really much. I'm not seeing that much out there. Not really seeing that much out there. So, and that's, why we don't always buy or trade everything. But you know what? Sometimes they open up and things take off. Norman, we're going to talk about the SCI, okay? That one's also on the watch list too. So PHCE, another big pop, came right back down. That was a nice move from 5, but it came down almost $2 already from the highs early this morning. Sometimes they will make a move in the morning. So I'm going to put that on the watch list. PALT, another stock that's been, was a good mover on Friday, and it's moving again today, but she's trending down too. So the trend is your friend. You don't want to buck the trend. BIG, we've done really well with BIG. A lot of you remember, look at all this volume. This stock was trading 300 million shares, and you could see the stock just went from $2 to $12. That was one of the other stocks that we trading that did really, really well for us. And obviously, short squeeze came right back down to 6, but she's up a little bit. So, listen, if you've done your journals, you know how you trade it. Be very careful with that one. All right. CEI is another one. That was a good call right there, Norman. Big pop. Now, if you remember last week, I was telling you this last week. I was saying something's up with this stock, and what I mean by that is you could see the stock was right here. The volume, stock was trading close to almost 400 million shares. The stock started consolidating here. I'm like, something's up with this stock. It's not really going anywhere. And the longer it trades there, and we day traded it, this is how they become swing trades. Now, remember, the stock was 20 cents. It's literally 40 cents. Almost 20 actually, 30 cents. Stock is almost up 1,000% in a month. So the news what came out has obviously been pretty good. People like it. But the only thing you got to be careful is when you look back here, back in January of last year, this stock went from $1 to $2. It's not doing that, okay? And look at the volume. It's just like totally different. So it's honestly, it's not easy to day trade, okay? You could trade a lot of shares of it. I trade a lot of shares of it. I think I broke even on Friday. I wanted to hold it as a swing trade, but it's just sometimes it just gets extremely volatile. You could see it right here, like right at the open, it just literally did a great move. It went from like $1.80 all the way up to about 210, and then it came down, and it tanked, and it shot right up. I mean, very, very volatile stock to day trade, but it's been, if you remember what I was telling you last week, it's been a pretty good swing trade. But you just got to be careful. It looks easy. You could trade a lot of shares, and sometimes that could do more harm than good. You could trade 10,000 shares of the stock, $20,000 investment. It's the same thing like buying 1,000 shares of a $20 stock, but every penny is $100. So it could add up quickly on profits. It could be a lot worse on losses. So that one also moved pretty well. A couple of swing trades are doing pretty well. I jumped back into BJ's. BJ's been doing really well. Listen, if you compare BJ's to Costco, Costco, is what, 400? Yeah, 465. So you could see it. This thing, I mean, these companies are thriving due to COVID. All right. So when you compare it to BJ's, a lot of you know that I was a big fan of BJ's, and I got what I kind of screwed up on is you know, I didn't look at it as a long-term investment, and I didn't buy as many shares as I like. And they came out with a news, where BJ's, if you remember, if some of you've been here for a while, they came out with news. They did a reverse, a secondary offering, and the stock literally took a little bit of a hit right here. But it's been, long term, it's been, it's been doing really, really, really well, and I think it's still cheap. So, I'm doing a swing trade on that one, and then I'm keeping an eye on DraftKings also. DraftKings, we've done really well at it. We got out of it, and it's at big support levels right here. If it holds here, the stock obviously has been doing pretty well. DraftKings has just been consolidating, wants to be the Amazon of sports betting. So until they stop buying everybody out and start hitting their bottom line, maybe you start seeing the earnings start picking up. But it's at some big support levels here. A lot of us did get in here at 40 when we had that nice little run right here. But it had that tough time breaking 65. And these are a little bit more expensive. And once again, how do we know how to trade them? Because we day trade. And when you day trade, you start popping up on your screen. You learn how to be more of a swing trader. So that's the way we look at it. But so we got our day trades. We got a couple of good swing trades. I know some of us also looked at some other stocks we had. I forgot to mention we did pretty well on Uber last week too. Uber did pretty well. We had that really nice pop on Friday. I forgot to mention that one. That was a hell of a slingshot. Look at that. That thing went all the way to 47, all the way down to 45. But you got to be more advanced to trade these stocks right here. But, they had good, I think they had good earnings or something like that. You can see the stock literally made a nice little pop here from 38 to 48, 47. So that one did really well. And John's also said the naked also, yeah, let me bring that one up too. Now you bring it up. NAKD. So that one, nice little cheap little stock on Friday, and it's kind of really not going anywhere right now. But, listen, the only bad thing about these stocks is they're penny stocks. And, when you start dealing with penny stocks, it's very hard to see level 4 and everything else. Remember, our whole motto is following the money. So, but it did, some of us did pretty well on that one as a cheap little stock. You know me, I'm not a fan of anything under $1. So, but sometimes we do, hey, it worked pretty well when it came to CI, right? CI did pretty well. All right, guys, so that pretty much does it. That's our watch list today. So listen, couple of announcements. I think in the Cyber Group room, Rich just posted up. We got phase 2 that's starting today at 10:30. So all silver, gold, and platinum students, please. The reason why we do it at 10:30 because we want you to quit at 10:30. We're usually done trading commentary in the morning, and you should get in class. Remember, the most important time that you want to put your effort in is in class, and then because you got to learn before you can earn. And if you new here to Cyber University, talk to education advisor, tell you a little bit more about it. If you like what we do and you see what things like, wow, how did they, how these people pick these stocks, and and how do they know where to get out, and how do they know how to, more importantly, how to get out so they didn't lose more than where it's at now. Class is very important. So just ask your education advisor and go from there. And then everybody else on YouTube, Facebook Live will be back here at 2:30. So if you missed us in the morning, you can always catch the afternoon. 2 best times to trade, first hour and the last hour. So good luck, everyone. Happy trading. Let's finish out the week and get ready for October. All right. Happy trading, everybody.